Muslims say Islam is a religion of peace. But is that really true? Today, we are diving deep into the crux of this matter with the help of some videos, all featuring Muslims themselves, to see how that statement correlates with what they say and with what they do. By the end of this video, you will decide if Islam truly deserves to be called the religion of peace. Each video escalates in intensity, revealing disturbing truth you won't believe. But don't worry, we have kept it watchable. Although, trust me, there's far worse videos out there.
So even against his enemies, our Prophet ﷺ, he didn't make dua against them, he made dua for them. He was not here to punish us. He was here as a mercy. And that's so important, because what person do you know who never speaks bad about people, who doesn't want revenge or wish bad?
Okay, she got it so wrong here. And this book got it wrong, and she also got it wrong. Let's just look and see, right? It says right here in this hadith by Abu Dawood, that talking about the witr prayer, that the Prophet, right, in the last rak'ah of the noon, night and dawn prayers, he would supplicate for the believers and curse the disbelievers, right? Literally every night he would be doing this.
In the first video, a Muslim woman confidently claims that Muhammad never cursed or prayed against anyone. But then, boom, a man pulls up evidence proving that Muhammad cursed believers every night. Can you imagine that? But how is it that she did not know this fact? And again, compare that to Jesus, who taught for you to love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. That you can get from Matthew 5 verse 44. Islam says, curse them. Christianity says, pray for them. Which one sounds peaceful to you? And it gets worse.
Would you agree with me that the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, he went to war? He went to war. Would you agree with that or not? It's a statement of fact.
He went to war, but
okay. Is there any report of the Prophet running away in the war? No, there isn't. Okay. Would you agree with me that that indicates bravery or not? Okay, excellent.
However,
beautiful.
It's brave.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you should do it to turn the other cheek.
How do you define bravery? Because for me, bravery is when you have, for example, fear or anxiety, but you overcome that by doing an action. By turning the other cheek, you're not actually exhibiting any level of bravery. You're basically giving up in a fight. Are you telling me those people who curl up in a ball and the other guy's punching them, they're showing bravery? No, we don't accept that. Your version of bravery is not in line with any modern or classical definition. He wanted to do this game himself. He said, let's look at Muhammad, let's look at Jesus, let's do a comparison. I'm saying, look, you believe both of them are perfect. Even if you look at your New Testament, Muhammad ﷺ fares better than your narrative of Jesus.
In the video, we see Muhammad Hijab mocking the teaching of Jesus, where he said for us to turn the other cheek. Instead, he glorifies fighting back as bravery, praising Muhammad for going to war. Wait, going to war against people who didn't even know they were in a fight with you? That is bravery? Looks to me like oppression. Jesus, on the other hand, after Peter cut off the ear of one of the soldiers while he was being arrested, said, "Do you think I cannot call on my Father and he will at once send me more than 12 legions of angels?" That you can get from Matthew 26 verse 53. Yet, Jesus chose peace. Now, who is truly brave? And which one looks like a religion of peace? And it gets worse.
اللهم اغفر للمؤمنين والمؤمنات الأحياء منهم والأموات اللهم اقسم لنا من خشيتك ما تقول له بيننا وبين معصيتك اللهم توفنا مسلم أيها المصلون أو أيها الناس فمنها أن يكبر المسلم في ليلة العيد الفطر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا.
That is a chilling sight of Muslim bandits, guns in hand. Now, were they praying or planning their next attack? Or maybe both? Here's the thing. Civilians in Nigeria are not allowed to own guns, but these bandits somehow have access to heavy weapons. Is it a coincidence or something more sinister is going on? Why does a group of Muslims need guns? If you think it is for self-defense, then you need to have your head examined. They are the aggressors all of the time. And yet, we are told this is a religion of peace. And it gets worse.
Omila ifanye kuratane ya package nne. Wallahi ifanye no dure. Ifanye wande dare kio. Wallahi ndete badunani. Wallahi dikari ifanya. Bida noe. Why mo do mamu ko tini?
Imagine a situation where hard-working farmers plant crops to cater for themselves and their families, only for these Muslim herdsmen to harvest the crops with guns and feed their cattle with it. So tell me, how does one steal food at gunpoint and still claim to be part of a peaceful faith? Where is the justice? Where is the peace? And it gets worse.
In an Islamic caliphate, when there is Sharia, what's the punishment for apostasy?
Apostasy.
What?
Execution. يعني كفر.
Kufr? Yeah.
Hey, execution, you get
but
killed.
you're looking at, you're saying...
No, wait. At least he's bold enough, he's answering first. Please answer.
No, he doesn't understand. He doesn't
Execution,
understand.
yeah.
Execution.
Is that a good idea?
Of course.
It's a good idea, of course. It's a good idea.
Okay.
All right. So in other one second. So in other words, tomorrow, if there is Sharia law in our nation, you would be quite happy if I am killed. You'd be quite happy if a Muslim who leaves Islam is killed.
You didn't apostate.
No, not me. Not okay. So if there is a Muslim who leaves Islam tomorrow, and if there is Sharia law, you would be quite happy. You'll be cheering on if that person were to be killed.
This is the Sharia. Yes.
Yeah. You'd be happy. You'd be happy with that.
Can I?
No, you'd be happy with that. Yeah. You would be. Yeah, you would be. So this is the problem.
Can you imagine how that young Muslim man was publicly supporting the execution of those who leave Islam? But don't take his word for it. The Quran itself says it. Whoever leaves Islam, kill them. That you can get for Sahih al-Bukhari 69:22. Now let's compare that to Christianity. If a man has 100 sheep and one of them goes astray, does he not leave the 99 and go to seek the one that is lost? That you can get from Matthew 18 verse 12. One religion executes the lost, the other seeks to restore them. Which one sounds peaceful to you? And it gets worse.
This is an interesting but very disturbing conversation. Watch this.
Muslim becomes a non-believer, then
Okay.
they get killed
because
like that.
Right. And then, so if a Muslim becomes a non-believer, but also isn't there a line in Sharia law that if a non-believer, the non-believer that converted the Muslim can also be murdered under Sharia law?
Yes, because they are not directly affecting anything in the religion, but they're manipulating the Muslims, and that goes under another category of spreading immorality.
Okay.
Because converting people away from Islam is seen by Sharia law as spreading immorality on the earth.
Okay.
And if you do that on this planet, then the chosen ones, the Muslims, have to take care of that person. It's just
So if I fall in
it's
love
very
with,
sophisticated.
If I fall in love with a Muslim man,
Not gonna happen.
Okay, but if I do,
no,
and
no.
he then says, you know what, I'm
No.
not going to be
Yeah.
Muslim anymore. I can be murdered, and he can be murdered.
But if you were someone who had a channel, who had a TV station, and is bringing Muslims to Christianity, then you would be targeted.
Interesting.
So not just a one-off issue. No, it's dragging Muslims away.
Okay, so to me, that obviously is a very clear differentiation between this religion and any other religion, because I can convert from Christianity to Catholicism, to Judaism. There's no fear. You can just move and change a million times, and there's no fear. There's no rule. There's there's nothing bad that's going to happen to me for those conversions, and that's very important for people to understand.
But same with Islam. If you converted to Islam, there's no problem.
Too, but not out, right?
No.
Yeah, converting into easy, converting out of.
And by the way, just for your viewers, I'm not here promoting Sharia law. I'm just explaining.
We're just talking about it.
We're talking about what belief.
You do not believe in Sharia law, so I want to make that super clear to everybody.
The Bible says, "For the law of spirit of life in Christ Jesus has set us free from the law of sin and death." Come to Jesus. That is where you will find life.
Candace Owens interviews a Muslim who calmly lists the reasons Islam demands execution. And the reasons include, but they are not limited to, leaving Islam, influencing a Muslim to leave Islam, running a channel that converts Muslims, and a number of other reasons that I am sure he did not list out. Question: if a religion is so aggressive, so unforgiving, and so controlling, can we really call it peaceful? But it gets worse.
Let's start with what happened on October 7th. Do you endorse that?
I reject the premise of that question because I don't believe that the person asking me that question has the moral authority to ask it until they first and foremost condemn the violent formation of Israel and the ensuing Palestinian deaths.
There are some things that are just fundamental human decency. And when I ask you if what happened on October 7th is something you condemn, and you say, well, you have to look at that by looking at hundreds of years of conflict. No, you don't. No, you don't. That's either right or it's wrong, and it was wrong, and I don't need 100 years of conflict to know it was wrong.
Why did Hamas take away innocent life? Why was Hamas platformed? Why was Hamas funded?
Let me tell you something. When somebody comes over a fence and goes into someone's house and burns their infant in its crib, I don't give a damn why they did it. It's wrong.
On this episode of Dr. Phil, did you notice how the Muslim woman refuses to condemn the October 7th massacre? Just think about that. A mass killing, and she doesn't see anything wrong with it. If Islam were truly peaceful, shouldn't her response be an outrage? Shouldn't she be the first to denounce such violence? Believe it or not, but it gets worse.
The reason why you have to fight them is because they are Jews and Christians. You should fight those empires around you, or those hukumat around you, which are Jew or Christian, until they give the jizya. That's fine. That we already know Islam allows. And then the howness of that is in the hadith. The three options that they're given: either you give the jizya, or you do this, or you do that. We're not apologetic about that point. That is the truth. Your religion has to have an expansionist element. So then therefore there is no situation or conceivability of peace being made between Muslims and non-Muslims.
Islam is a warrior religion in many ways, and it's unapologetically so. It's about expansion, it's about conquest and so on.
Hello darkness, my old friend.
Did you hear what Muhammad Hijab said? He said Muslims should fight Jews and Christians because they are Jews and Christians. Not because they did anything wrong, but because of their religion. Can you beat that? What I don't understand is how these people have these kinds of belief at their core and still come out to say Islam is a religion of peace. I really don't understand that dynamics. Don't they see the contradiction? Anyway, the final question goes to you. Do you still believe Islam is a religion of peace? Now tell me your thoughts in the comments. I will be waiting to read your comments. And before you go, please hit that like button, kindly subscribe to the channel, and share this with that one friend who needs to hear it. Until next time, bye for now.